years old. My mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. Only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. I was writing about everything I saw before me. Once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old. I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make your...
A rainbow shone in the distant sky, a bridge of 7 hues. Vibrant colours from yellows and greens, a path now links us to you. The beauty of its radiant arch reminds us of all you possessed, and Matt, your inner light and wisdom, knowing you were truly blessed. As a child, you lived inside the magic world filled only with kindness and with love, your devotion to family, to animals and nature, goodness that we're in awe of. And you grew to such an amazing man, so unique, individual and true. With a gentle heart and independent soul, you tread the path only you knew. And seeing that rainbow in the distant sky, so close yet so far away, leaves us wondering why such a pure soul couldn't amongst us stay. But we'll take our lead from you, and for the joy we will continue to find, and humour your memory with happiness, to be loving, to be generous, and to be kind. We know that, Matt, you'll return to us through the sun, the birds and the trees, and speak to us softly in our ears through the whisper of every breeze. When our hearts still seem so broken and empty with the pain, we'll remember your glow of colours can only shine through after the rain. And from some wise words we will trust that they're faithful, honest and true, that the fragile thread that binds our hearts will someday draw us right back to you. And we are here this afternoon to have to say farewell to a son, a brother, a grandson, a partner, nephew, a cousin, and to others a very good friend. Someone who possessed an inordinate natural talent matched only by his depth of a very big heart. Matthew Dunn, or Matt, or Matty D, as many of you probably knew him by. And it is having family and friends around when we're faced with the painful task of saying goodbye that does bring comfort. And so on behalf of those who loved Matt, I do warmly welcome you as we honour and celebrate his life. And your presence here today is so very much appreciated. I'm Kevin Clone, and I'll be your celebrant today. When someone is taken from us, as Matt was, in the prime of his life, understandably, we may not be comfortable with words and phrases that point towards the celebration of life. This is indeed a sad day for everyone here, but hidden in all the pain and sorrow that is felt at Matt's passing, there is something to celebrate. The life of a young man who had the deep love of his family, a gentle soul, as I mentioned earlier, a love of nature, such creative talents, and someone who cared so much about others he tried to help carry their burdens. A young man who gained the respect and friendship of so many. We always try to look at ways to make grief easier, but no matter what anyone says about grief and about time healing all wounds, the truth is that there are certain sorrows that never fade away until the heart stops beating and the last breath is taken. This is not to say that you won't feel the joy of life again, and no doubt Matt certainly would want you to live your life to the absolute full. It's just that there will be a little part of you that will always miss him. Nan Whitcomb gives some comfort in the words that she wrote that say, "We do not have to rely on memories to recapture the spirit of those we have loved and lost. They live within our souls in some perfect sanctuary which even death cannot destroy." Now, if Matt could paint the colours of his life for us today, I wonder how it might look. His favourite number was number 7, the number of bright colours that make the rainbows he loved. Each shade he'd use highlighting his happiest days, including most recently, finding love. There would probably be deeper tones too of times when life was a bit of a struggle for him. His sensitive and generous heart was sometimes left a little battered and bruised, but his acceptance of life's shortcomings and ability to forgive was incredible. We not only grieve Matt's premature passing for the kind and caring man that he was, but also the potential of the man that he was going to be. Sometimes bad luck seemed just around the corner for Matt, but recently the tide had very much turned and he'd found happiness that seemed to sometimes elude him in years. Meeting Stacey opened the future up for Matt, and they were both so very much looking forward to building a life with Stacey's children and the new baby they were expecting together. Matt loved his family, his mum Kathy, his dad Ian, his brother Josh, and also sister Nicole, and was elated at the thought of having a family of his own. There is, of course, something so very unnatural about a parent having to lose a child. And even though Matt was an adult of 29, to his mum and dad, he was still their eldest son, their child, and it is a devastating loss that can never be healed. They'd watched him grow from a sensitive child who already loved to draw, and he needed a constant supply of coloured pencils, to a young man who expressed his love of art using his body as a canvas. Tattoos were probably one of the few things that Matt and his mum Kathy didn't see eye to eye on. Otherwise, it was his mum and dad's counsel he always sought on the other end of the phone. Always devoted to him, during a stay in hospital, Kathy held vigil by Matt's side the entire time. There's nothing that either Kathy nor Ian wouldn't have done to help their son, but it brings them a certain amount of comfort at such a painful time, knowing that Matt had indeed found happiness and acceptance in the end. Matt had a fascination for penguins, and his good friend Brooke organised Matt a tattoo of one for his birthday. Maybe he liked them because penguins, like Matt, live for only one soulmate their entire lives, and for Matt, that mate was Stacey. Even though they knew each other for the past 8 years, it was earlier this year that they found real happiness and so much contentment with each other. To Matt's brother Josh and sister Nicole, Matt was their big brother who never stopped worrying about their welfare, even though there was no cause. Matt just always wanted to know that they were doing okay. They were siblings that not only shared their family history, but also a very close bond of friendship. To his Nan Margaret, extended family, close friends, so many today really do lament the loss of such a kind and very caring guy. And now you may find comfort in joining me in reciting the familiar words of the Lord's Prayer. Please join me if you'd like to do so. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Matt had a stubborn streak, but not when it came to arriving in this world. For that, he was impatient and decided to arrive 3 weeks earlier than Kathy and Ian Dunn anticipated. High blood pressure meant that Kathy was in hospital in Subi when Matthew James arrived on the 20th of May 1987, and Kathy jokes that her blood pressures remained pretty high ever since. It was, however, those amazing bright blue eyes of Matt's that she looked into that just melted her heart. His cheeky smile came along a little bit later. Matt was only 5 when his primary school, Newborough, invited students to submit a drawing to be printed onto the T-shirt uniforms of the pre-primary kids. Matt actually won that competition, and he used to joke that it was such a shame he didn't receive royalties on that design because it's still being used some 20 years later. He also won the Year 8 Academic Encouragement Award at Corrine High and was nominated again in Year 10. Favourite characters from when he was a boy Matt had tattooed on himself later in life, like Elf, Gumby and Disney characters like Mickey Mouse. He shared his love of all things Disney with his sister Nicole, and it was one of his dreams to go to Disneyland one day too, also to Egypt to see the pyramids. Some of the holidays Matt did do was to the Eminem concert with his family in Melbourne, and in 2007 he travelled with his family to Sydney, and the highlight of that trip was visiting the site location in Palm Beach where they make the series Home and Away. His memento was to fill a Fanta bottle with some of the water, and he bagged some beach sand to bring home with him. He was always a big fan and never missed one dramatic episode of Home and Away. In work, Matt turned his hand at many jobs. From work experience, he secured a job in sign writing with Pacific Neon, and he often pointed out signs around the place that he'd created. He did bar work, worked in labour hire, and most recently had been working FIFO in the mines. His run of bad luck with accidents in cars meant he was convalescing, but eager to get back to work. He'd even worked here at Pinneroo Cemetery, but couldn't go back after one day, knowing it was work that he just didn't want to do. With his creative talent for art, Matt also expressed a desire in pursuing work as a graphic artist. He studied in Northbridge and often loved to meet his dad and share dim sum lunches at many of the local restaurants there, and they discussed their shared interest in phones, the latest gadgets, and what movies they'd been watching on Netflix. Matt owned 3 copies of the movie Con Air, so there's no doubt that was up there on his list of top favourites. He recently moved to Melbourne to be with Stacey, but he also loved the vibrancy of the city street art scene. He'd say that no art is perfect, and that is what makes it art. He loved the Bad Meets Evil, or BME clothing label, and expressed an interest in creating his own T-shirt business himself. And his mum suggested he call it GMD, for Good Meets Divine. He also liked the labels of Peter Alexander PJs and also Element Jeans. Another of Matt's creative outlets, he expressed, was at the stove, loving to make a great meal. He'd take on all the advice of chefs off the cooking shows on TV and paid particular attention to getting the seasoning right of his stir-fry, his soup and also his noodle dishes. He had quite expensive tastes, always going for the labelled brands over the home brand ones, and he liked to be experimental in the produce he used and ate. Matt had tried new pork dishes, even though he was allergic to it. Emu, crocodile, kangaroo, and even cooked green eggs and ham back in Year 8, inspired, of course, by the Dr. Seuss book. It's not a wonder that he wasn't an expert pastry chef, because his preference was for the sweet stuff, like Maltesers, M&Ms, and of course those much-loved Krispy Kremes. For pure enjoyment, Matt loved seeing bands and often shared nights with Nicole at live venues. He loved listening to the likes of Blink-182, 360, Papa Roach, and respected his mum by keeping the volume down when listening to the M&M stuff he loved. With Brooke, he did the colour run around the river and enjoyed it so much he actually made Brooke do another lap so he could have a medal to give to his mum, one that she will forever cherish, of course. Matt also loved fossicking through trash and treasures, finding bits that he could buy and resell on Gumtree, or collect for his own enjoyment, like the Commonwealth Bank money boxes in the shape of platypus. He also loved penguins, as I mentioned earlier, and gorillas, and enjoyed seeing them at the Melbourne Zoo. More than anything, Matt loved to be surrounded by you, the family he loved so much, and also his friends. The depth of caring that he had for you all, he wouldn't want you to carry the burden of his early death into the future. But for when you think of him, for it to be happy thoughts, and look after each other the way that he would have wanted you to. We may find it really difficult, and understandably so, to understand why Matt's time is finished here before you were ready to say goodbye to him. But your lives have been so very much enriched just for having spent a short amount of time with him. Like the young actors that Matt idolised, Paul Walker and also Heath Ledger, Matt may be gone, but of course he will live forever in your hearts and in your memories. And I know, as hard as this is, that Nicole would like to share some special memories with us now.
Matt, what I would give to be sitting in McDonald's eating a burger with you again. The day you died, you took a big part of me with you. You were an awesome brother. So many good memories I keep close. From the time you accidentally hit me in the head with a baseball bat when I was 5 and I needed stitches. Oh wait, we are talking about the good memories here. Family and friends meant everything to you. You always strive to make the other person happy, to make them laugh. As many friends have written, saying how kind, considerate, caring, helpful, a great friend and person you were. Nothing that I didn't already know, but I hope you realise how much you meant to your friends and family, and how many people you have helped with your journey through life. And I am so grateful to have had you as my big bro. I will miss the words you spoke often. Are you going to buy me lunch? Are you going to donate to my fund? Where's my invite? Or one of the last things you said to me on the phone after telling me some amazing, exciting news while I was going through drive-through to get a free Krispy Kreme donut on National Donut Day. Where's mine? While shouting through the loudspeaker in hope the drive-through lady will hear your order too, justifying that you were in the car with us. The last days I saw you in Melbourne with Stacey and Matt are great memories that I will treasure. Even though you were in and out of hospital, you still managed to make it a fun and memorable time. We all talked and laughed lots. The time at the pub, you insisting on having a drink or two. We had a good laugh at the pub, you calling old friends. You managed to get through to Kyle and had a good yarn, and left a few long voice messages to other friends. Then wanting more drinks with Stacey, Matt and I struggling to take you home and walk slowly to make sure the bottle shop would be shut. But you insisting on your crutches, you could get that bit further than us until you tired yourself out. Due to Mum saying, make sure he doesn't drink with his head injury. Don't encourage him, Nicole. I think Mum should have been more worried about you encouraging us. You were stubborn, but I'm so glad that we had that time together. We woke up during the night with you sleeping on the toilet floor, Stacey and I unable to get you up. You just mumbling, so we got Nurse Matt to the rescue. That was a struggle. I remember Stacey and I cracking up laughing, and then Stace turns around to Nurse Matt and says, can you sleep with him tonight and nurse him? I will stay with Nicole. The answer was no, but Nurse Matt tucked you in with a bucket. It's the middle of the night and we are laughing while you boys just want to go back to sleep. Well, then I wake up to go to the bathroom in the morning and the room is flooded and the hallway carpet is soaked. We got you up to explain and you just laughed and started jumping in it on a broken foot like a little kid, which made us all laugh. Then you had to start scooping the water down the drain. Or the night we all managed to get into a comedy show free, with free drinks and refreshments, realising it was a special work event. But we didn't care, we got a free laugh out of it. It was my birthday and you had to be in hospital for an operation. You were so upset that you couldn't be with me, trying to convince the doctors and nurses to let you out, but insisted that I went to the safari park with Stacey and Matt, with messages from you saying to go already. What are we waiting for? You always were sure to make my birthdays a memorable one. We all rushed back to see you before your op, just getting in on time, with you taking your time in the bathroom and the doctors in their scrubs waiting to take you. I opened my birthday present as fast as I could as they tried to wheel you away. You opted for general anaesthetic instead of going under because you wanted to get discharged to come to the airport to wish me off. You made it. The tight, warm hug you gave me at the airport, the last hug I got from you before leaving to go home. I'll miss you on my birthdays, even the time you woke me up jumping on my bed like a kid you were, singing happy birthday to me and showing me a YouTube video with the stars singing happy birthday. You left so many things to remember you by, watching cartoons together when we were young, Rugrats, Cat Dog, tattoo shops. I remember you trying to hide your tattoos from Mum until it got to the point I don't think she would have noticed if you had one more overlapping. You always had a story you would make from what you think that the tats would look like they were doing and start laughing. The beach, you always went in even when it was freezing. McDonald's, make your own burgers. You would pick me up from work and we would have afternoon tea, which was more like dinner. You would have the same burger every time. Nando's, going to concerts with you, Soundwave 360. You wanted to go to every 360 concert. Disney, collecting coins, those platypus money boxes you collected, watching movies, The Crow and Scream, and you laughing at me when I screamed. Getting into the chocolate and you insisting on cooking food for us to eat while watching movies or home and away together. I'll miss your stories, your calls, messages, your laugh, your drawings, paintings, your sense of humour, going to concerts with you, watching movies or listening to music, drives, your hugs. I will even miss you annoying me or coming over and eating my ice cream and chocolate. When looking towards the end of your life was complete. You were with the girl of your dreams that treated you how you should have been treated. You had so much fun and love around you. You got that acceptance from her mum and they saw you for the great person you were. The missing jigsaw puzzle piece was found and you were happy. You were completed. Mum, Dad, Josh, Stacey and all of your family and friends are going to miss you so much. Don't take things for granted. Tell your loved ones you love them, spend time with them, live each day to the fullest. You don't know when your time is up. And live by Matt's rule. I did it because I felt like it. Rest in peace, Matt. Fly free and forever in our memories.
Thanks so much, Nicole, for such a beautiful tribute to Matt. Now I'd like to invite Matt's good friend Brooke to say a few words, please, and then we're going to hear from another good friend, Jessica.
How do you bring my thing? No. Dearest Matt, I stand here today because I have to say goodbye, but I want nothing more to say otherwise. You are the most kind-hearted and patient, gentle soul I've ever met. You will forever be my best friend. We didn't know each other long, but it felt like a lifetime. You brought a side out of me that no one else can, and our adventurous and spontaneous adventures made me a better person. Our time together was filled with laughter and tears, even heartache. We both knew each other and we both saved each other. I wish I didn't have to say goodbye. Our time together wasn't long enough. Rest in peace. I know you're at peace now, with no more pain and no more tears, just beautiful memories. You will always and forever be my best friend.
And now we're going to hear from Jessica.
Our families met at Newborough Primary School in 1998, where Matt and Alex, my brother, were in the same grade, Stacey and Nicole in the same class, and I was the same age as Josh. We all bonded pretty quickly, and we've stayed friends for the last 18 years. I'm reading this on behalf of my parents, Sean and Jenny, my brothers, Alex and Jack, and my sisters, Stacey and Lisa, and our families. As Dr. Seuss said, sometimes we'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. We have so many memories of you, Matt, over the years, but particularly, as anyone can see, it was your artwork. For me, you taught me to draw the Rugrats when I was 9. For Alex, he was amazed when you so quickly and cleverly drew Blinky Bill with the Southern Cross and always scribbled drawings on things from pizza boxes, notepads, scrap paper and canvases. As kids, we all enjoyed countless sleepovers, playdates, walking home from school together and spending hours upon hours waiting for our parents to stop talking so we could go home. Even till recently, that never changed. You clearly loved all cartoons, especially Disney, which is mostly what we remember about you, with your tattoos and drawings. You've been a friend so long, I guess we were naive to think you'd be in our lives forever, and that you'd always just come and go, much like we've all done over the years. In recent times to us, you're a fantastic Uno player, a kind, gentle young man, and a brilliant listener. You have always been quiet, and throughout our lives, I often wondered how fast your mind must have been ticking sometimes. It explains your thoughtfulness and your willingness to do anything for those you loved. You had the biggest smile to brighten anyone's day, and it was clear you just wanted to make people happy. You've been a great mate. You'll be missed beyond words, especially by Alex, who'll miss the occasional drink and catch up. To Ian, Kathy, Josh and Nicole, your son, your big brother, we're so sorry and we're heartbroken for you. I'd like to read you a short poem. Words seem so feeble in moments like these. Life is so precious and death such a thief. The depth of your pain we cannot comprehend, but we'll stand alongside you in the darkness, our friends. Love is a bond that death cannot part, gone from your arms, but still in our hearts. And finally, to quote Disney, how lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard.
Jessica, thank you so much, and also Brooke, thank you for your tribute to Matt today. We're now going to let the pictures do the talking. Sometimes photos can say so much more than what words can, particularly at a time like this. So let's now take a look back at Matt's life through the lens of a camera.
That went home to God. At least that's what I'm hoping, but that's how life goes, like it or not. You couldn't know how I felt when you went away. And now I know my life will never be the same. Be the same. Be the same. It will never be the same without you. I don't want this to be the end. I don't want to have to say goodbye. I don't want for this to be over, but this is not over. I'll see you someday down at the end of life's road. You'll be there with your arms wide open, But until then, I guess this is goodbye. You were the one that kept me in line when I get too crazy. And now that you're gone, I'm doing just fine. But it seems lately that I cry myself to sleep, 'cause I know that you will never be with me. I don't want this to be the end. I don't want to have to say goodbye. I don't want for this to be over, but this is not over. I'll see you someday down at the end of life's road. You'll be there with your arms wide open. But until then, I guess this is goodbye. I guess this is good. I guess this is good. I don't want this to be the end. I don't want to have to say goodbye. I don't want for this to be over, but this is not over. I'll see you someday down at the end of life's road. You'll be there with your arms wide open. But until then, I guess this is goodbye.
Each of you here today will have some of your own very special individual memories of Matt and the ways his life has touched yours over the years. We're going to pause for a few moments now for a time of reflection. You might like to think back on some of those very special times that you've shared together. While the music is playing during this time of reflection, please feel free to step forward. You might like to say your own silent farewell to Maddie. And also at the same time, you may care to write just a brief message or even sign Maddie's coffin at this time. Pens will be provided for this purpose, and once you've written your message or signed, please then pass the pen on to the person next to you. I know that you will want to offer Matt's family your condolences at this time. However, it is an important time of reflection for them as well. So if I could ask you to wait until the very end of the service when you'll have the opportunity of doing so when we're in the lounge area, please.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I'll tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last
Don't
ride.
let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. When
Desiderata, you are a child of the universe no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should be. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labours and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep pace and peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. And we now come to the sad time where we have to say farewell to Matt. If it is comfortable for you to do so, as a mark of respect, could I ask you to stand at this time, please? Tenderly and lovingly, we say farewell to Matthew James Dunn. He shared many things with us in his life, and we honour Matt's short journey. His depth of caring for others is an inspiration to us all. We remember his love for his family, and for many others, we remember the warmth of his friendship. We'll forever cherish the memory of Matt's ability to laugh and his very generous heart. His enthusiasm and passion for his talents we commit to our memories. His knowledge and wisdom we commit to our hearts. We're so deeply grateful to have been a part of Matt's life. May he travel safely into this next part of his journey. Our love goes with him as we now leave Matt in peace, and with respect and love, we bid you a sad farewell. Would you please be seated? We can't understand why some things happen, but what we do know is that love and memories outlast the pain of grief. We know that there's a place inside the heart where love lives always, and where nothing wonderful is ever forgotten. There is no doubt that Matt wouldn't want you to remember him in sadness, but rather in love, in a happy way, and with thoughts of the many wonderful and happy and special times that you've had the opportunity of sharing together. Your lives, of course, are richer for having known him and loved him, and echoes of Matt's wonderful spirit, of his laughter and his love will certainly keep him with you in the difficult times ahead. He's forever immortalised through his pieces of art, and they pay homage to the talent that he possessed, and of course through his child that Matt wasn't destined to meet in this world. On behalf of his family, again, thank you so much for your love and support and for being here today. It really has helped them get through the past couple of weeks. And of course, Kathy and Ian and the family will certainly need your ongoing love and support in the time ahead. You are invited to continue sharing some of your own favourite memories and stories that you have of Matt in a more relaxed setting over afternoon tea that's about to be served in the lounge area. And I do believe there might even be a few of some of those sweet tooth favourites of Matt's, some Krispy Kremes with the tea and coffee as well. May we all aspire to emulate your life. You lived harmlessly and enriched others by your presence here. You lived a life that was only limited by your own imagination. Matt accepted life graciously. He's been an inspiration to many. Never doubt how much you were loved. All those with him you shared your time while here on earth are so very honoured to have known you, Matt. And now, as we hear one final song, you might like to make your way through to the lounge area where, as I said, you can continue reminiscing and sharing some of your own favourite memories of the Matt Dunn that you knew.
Just can't stay.